Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Telecast TV. I'm Miracle Angala. You're watching a conversation with the press media and Sowore speaking about the concluded court judgment between Blord and VeryDarkMan, PTM, speaking that there is no threat between himself and VeryDarkMan. There is no issue, that the case has been resolved. We spoke about the Ibadan declaration, said they are just a bunch of recycled individuals who has ruled Nigeria before and was in APC, but has come again to carry power again, that the country needs new, fresh people. Endeavor to watch this video to the end and subscribe. Don't miss trending videos.
Okay. Okay, my younger brother.
This morning,
Yes.
case.
Yes.
So, VeryDarkMan openly threatened you.
Please now.
So, VeryDarkMan openly threatened you that he is ready to show you Shege, that he intentionally dealt with Blord because you put your effort into the case. So, what's your response to this?
You just heard about the threat against me in 2026. I have told you guys that my intervention in the case is to ensure that Blord's rights are not trampled upon, and that he's granted bail, and that the case is discontinued, and that my lawyer has been directed as such. Everything I told you has come to pass. So what else are you looking for? The case, according to him, from what you are saying, he has met with Blord and resolved privately, right? Or openly. We have brought Blord out of prison. And as a result, he's no longer going to move for a bail application, which was slated for today. The judge has abandoned the case. What else do you want me to tell you?
Get an arrival.
Yes. But as regarding the threats, I have said it before. I always offer myself as a scapegoat so that people will not suffer. Yes. So if I said this would be like maybe my fourth time of telling you, if I have to go down so that people don't get maltreated, I'm ready to go down. There's no big deal about it. So you want me to be trading words with him? That's not my nature and it's not in my character. I'm more interested in the police who is doing all this rubbish, who applies itself to cases that don't exist with public funds. It is police that brought us to this situation in the first place. So hasn't Blord gone home?
He's home.
Haven't we discontinued this case by reconciliation?
The case is discontinued.
Hasn't the judge abandoned the case?
He abandoned it and ran away. She ran away because.
Next question, please.
I don't know.
The Nigerian authorities must understand that when people are accused of grievous offenses, you can't just assume that they have committed the offense until a proper trial has taken place. And the trial has taken place at the proper forum. The proper forum for treating cases of treason is the Federal High Court. There's no room for court-martial. So anything they are doing in the court-martial is illegal. It's unjust. It's not fair hearing. It's unknown to law. When they are ready, they will bring the coup plotters or alleged coup plotters to the Federal High Court. And they must allow the press unfettered access to the trial. It's an open trial. Nobody can have a hidden trial in this country anymore. We've tried this several times. It has never worked. Let's accept it that the proper forum for treating this particular case of alleged coup plotters is the Federal High Court. And they have brought some of them to the Federal High Court. You must bring the military generals or brigadiers or whomever is involved to the Federal High Court. And the press must be allowed to cover it. The press is a member of the court. It's the fourth estate of the realm within the Constitution. The role of the press is constitutionally guaranteed in their own Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, which I don't believe in. But that's the constitution they use. So, because I heard that the press was prevented from covering the case today, they must reverse that immediately and let the press cover it. Even under the military, the press is allowed to cover coup trials. So what's the big deal about all these coup stories? Anytime you see Nigerian government telling you that the press cannot cover something, that means they don't have a case.
So of recent, there was a meeting at Ibadan of opposition leaders. What's your take?
My take is public. Nigeria must have a clean break from the past. The people you call opposition leaders are the people who destroyed Nigeria. They are the people who put Nigeria where it is today.
Very true.
I know their names. Atiku. David Mark. Let me tell you why David Mark is very interesting. In 1984, my father bought an almanac and put on the wall in my village, Kiribo in Ondo State. Of all the military administrators, David Mark was the military administrator of Niger State, 1984. In 2026, David Mark is the chairman of a political party. I am also a chairman of a political party, 2026. In 1984, I was in class 3, secondary school. In 2026, I'm 55 years old. You still expect such a person to hold on to your future in Ibadan in 2026. What happened to all the young people in the country? Nigerian elders are the most selfish in the world.
Driving us on reverse gear.
They cannot offer you anything, but they will never allow you to progress.
Yes,
witchcraft. If they were not selfish and wicked, what stops them from stepping back and even becoming the moderators and the MC at an opposition meeting of people who are in their 40s and 50s, majority of the country? I was invited by them. They wrote me a letter. When I saw the name of Jerry Ghana there, I said, what is wrong with Nigeria? Jerry Ghana to be chairman of an event. The person is the convener. The person who was supposed to be chairman who didn't show up was Obasanjo at the age of 90. Come on now, how are you choking a country like this? And everybody is pretending like, oh, the opposition people met. What are they opposed to? The people who destroyed your country. David Mark was the guy who said telephone is not meant for the poor when he was communication minister. He was a Senate president for 8 years in this country. He was the one when he was military officer who said Abiola cannot be sworn in after he won an election. Atiku was vice president for 8 years in this country. ASU went on strike. They refused to pay ASU. They went and set up their own universities. Him and Obasanjo. Who else was at the meeting? There's nobody in that meeting that should not be in prison. Yes, most of the elders. Yeah, I'm telling you. They destroyed this country. So, but you know, the biggest problem is not even them. It's the young people whose only aspiration is to become special assistants. That is their biggest ambition. And there's another more dangerous ambition now, is to become an influencer to the people who destroyed Nigeria. So they want to be shunning out lies. Oh, you did not go to the this thing, they didn't invite you. Even if they don't invite me, I still will have an opinion about the meeting.
Exactly.
Because it's my future, it's my country that is at stake.
Exactly.
You understand? Oh, you are working for APC. Who can work for APC more than Babashola Olawa? Was he not in APC? Is Aregbesola not in APC? Is Amechi not in APC?
The founding members.
Is Malami? Was Malami not in APC?
All of them.
Is El-Rufai not in APC?
The founding members.
So, in their own hypocrisy, they want to bamboozle people and say, oh, Sowore is supporting APC. So, when do you start hating APC? Is it now that you start hating them when your major sponsors in your ADC are APC? They were not APC of 2015, they are APC of 2023. Yes, some of them are still in APC, even as we speak.
Exactly.
So you think you can fool us by claiming? It was the same thing I was telling you guys last week. I mean, when the last time we were here, when they say, oh, you criticize Alesoti because he's fighting against Tinubu. Alesoti is going to have a Labour Party primary convention in Aba. They don't have a presidential candidate. Their presidential candidate is Tinubu. So who are you fooling? Who are you fooling? Soludo's presidential candidate of Abga is Tinubu. So who are you fooling? The guy in Imo, his presidential candidate is Tinubu. The guy in Enugu, his presidential candidate is Tinubu. Even your Labour Party candidate of last time, when we were telling you that he went to rent Labour Party, he now doesn't even have a party per se, because Atiku is the owner of ADC. But he doesn't want to tell you that he's fighting for vice presidency, and vice presidency is not even available. They're giving it to Austin Okai from Kogi State. You know. But they will be fooling you so that when they take their next very dishonest decisions, you will help them to justify it. Let me put it to you, all of you who are here. In 2022-23, what was the articles of this world described as? What was Malami described as? What was Amechi described as to you? Structures of criminality. And you went and joined them and said that it's because you are related to Jesus, that Jesus likes prostitutes and he likes tax collectors. But ask yourself, when Jesus intervened on behalf of prostitutes, did Jesus Christ carry the prostitute home to go and sleep with? So these heretics is to help us justify why we should be driven to the corner of destruction from time to time and to be distracted. That is why I was never distracted in 2022. I saw 2026 coming in 2022, in 2023. I knew it that your Messiah of 2022 and 20 is going back to his senior brothers and sisters in the structure of criminality. And now they have used him to mold pillar there. You understand? If you want to use the biblical word for it, your Messiah is supposed to have turned to a pillar of salt by now. Yes, because he looked back. And you don't, if you are honest and you are going to the promised land, you are leaving Sodom and Gomorrah, you don't look back.
Don't look back.
But your Messiah has not only, I'm talking about Peter Obi, has not only looked back, he wanted to carry, he has gone back to doing what they were doing in Sodom and Gomorrah, which is the structure of criminality. We refuse to be part of Sodom and Gomorrah. And because they always use the Bible, we are saying we are not going back to Egypt. All right? But in traveling to the promised land, we also don't want to spend 40 years instead of 40 days. We want to march down there in 40 days. That's our position. Now,
Telecom.
yes.
Then looking at the critical current state in this country, so the Christian has done has just begun to construction of ecumenical shopping of them, which costs about 25 billion naira. So you stand on that.
It's not my duty to regulate where Christians or Muslims build their. The only problem I have is when people who are also not Christians and Muslims are being persecuted for doing what the Christians and Muslims are doing, like they are doing in Anambra, where they are arresting and prosecuting people who are into traditional worship. All of them have a right under the law. So the Christians are at liberty to build whatever ecumenical center they want to build. Even though I would have preferred that they build an hospital. But it is their fundamental right under the law. But nobody should persecute. So if the traditionalists want to build their own mansion or their own Masonic temple, don't tell you that you will not approve their own beside the airport too. That's where we will have a problem. Yes. So somebody was asking about MTN. The struggle is still on. We gave them 7 days. And before we go reach 2 days, they have started reimbursing people some foolish amount of money. Mine was 406 naira. I'm losing 55,000 naira in 3 days. You are ridiculously sending me.
Very ridiculous.
So by next week we will make it clear on the day that we'll go against them. And it's not MTN alone. It's Airtel, Glo, 9Mobile. All of them are guilty, but MTN is the most guilty. They are the biggest thief of data in the world. MTN is after your life, and we'll make sure that we save you from them. Did I not just mention to you that Messiah was that not the guy I told you look back, and he has now turned to a pillar of salt, and they are just licking him in in the ADC. Anybody in Nigeria, and I want to make it clear, everybody has a right to choose whichever political party they want to support. You see, where I have problem with them is them saying that if you don't support them, you don't love Nigeria. Whereas the people they told you are bad, they are back in bed with them. It's the hypocrisy that we are addressing. Otherwise, whether you are city boy, village boy, you are blind, or you can see, you have one eye, you have one leg, you have one patch eye, you have one hand, you are entitled to support whomever you want. Our preference is that you support the only revolutionary party in the country, the African Action Congress. That's our own preference, but we can't prevent you from supporting. You can support any peer you want. That don't disturb us, but don't tell Nigerians that they should not support some people because they are structures of criminality, when in fact you are part and parcel of the structure of criminality.
But do you think your AAC party is strong enough to wrestle power from you?
We are not engaging in wrestling. We are taking power, we are taking our country back. Because when you start discussing wrestling, you are discussing violence. This is not a violent takeover. Almost all Nigerians have come to the conclusion that it is time for power to change hands and do so in the right direction. That's why our party, the AAC, African Action Congress, the only revolutionary party established in 2018 and has been different from any other party. That's the only party that I have belonged to since I joined partisan politics. Is ready to take the country to the promised land.
So I'd like your comment on the xenophobic acts in South Africa.
I've always condemned xenophobic attacks in South Africa. South Africans are doing what is wrong by attacking their fellow Africans. It's very sad because their fellow Africans stood by South Africans when the apartheid regime was screwing them. And I'm glad that we have people like Julius Malema in South Africa who is diametrically opposed to xenophobia. It's a voice that we identify with, and we hope that South Africans, in their large numbers, because it is not all black South Africans that are doing it, but the South African government cop this, because like it happened in the past, let them know that nobody knows tomorrow.